Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where hidden treasures come to life and everyday pocket change could secretly be worth a fortune, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins you might have overlooked for years, the 1978 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that at first glance looks completely ordinary but holds a story, a history, and in some rare cases a jaw-dropping value that collectors dream about, because believe it or not, certain versions of this small copper coin have reached an astonishing market value of $779,371, and that is not a fantasy, that is the reality of the rare coin market where condition, mint errors, and historical significance can transform a single penny into a life-changing asset. And to truly understand why the 1978 Lincoln cent is so special, we must travel back in time to an era when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, making them one of the most common coins in circulation. Yet within those billions, a few exceptional pieces emerged, coins struck with near-perfect precision, coins preserved in flawless mint state, and coins with unique minting errors that make them incredibly rare, and these are the coins collectors fight over, because rarity combined with demand is what drives value in the coin market, and the 1978 1-cent coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been a symbol of American heritage since 1909, representing strength, unity, and history, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design that remained in use until 2008, making the 1978 coin part of a long-running and beloved series. But what truly sets this coin apart is not just its design, it is the hidden variations and conditions that can elevate its worth to extraordinary levels. For example, coins struck at different mint locations such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco each have their own characteristics, and collectors pay close attention to mint marks, strike quality, and surface preservation, because a coin graded at the highest levels such as MS-67 or above can command incredible prices, especially when combined with perfect luster and no visible marks. And then there are the error coins, the real stars of the show, including double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies that occur during production. These errors are extremely rare and highly sought after, often pushing the value of a coin far beyond its standard worth, and this is where the excitement begins, because finding such a coin in your collection or even in loose change could mean discovering a hidden fortune, and the current market for rare coins has seen a surge in interest, with collectors and investors alike searching for tangible assets that hold historical and monetary value. And the 1978 Liberty 1 cent has become a surprising contender in this space, especially for high-grade and error specimens, reaching reported values as high as $779,371 under the right conditions, and this number reflects not just the coin itself but the passion of collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for rarity and perfection. And if you are wondering how to identify whether your 1978 penny could be valuable, you should start by examining its condition. Look for sharp details, original shine, and minimal wear, check for mint marks below the date, and carefully inspect for any unusual features or errors, because even the smallest detail can make a massive difference in value. And remember that professional grading services play a crucial role in determining a coin's authenticity and grade, which directly impacts its market price. So if you believe you have a rare piece, it is always worth getting it evaluated. And as the market continues to grow and more collectors enter the field, the demand for rare coins like the 1978 Liberty 1 cent is only expected to increase, making it not just a piece of history but also a potential investment opportunity. So next time you come across a simple penny, do not ignore it, take a closer look, because you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. And here on Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1983, a coin that many people overlook but collectors and experts know can be worth an astonishing amount, sometimes reaching values like $779,311 depending on rare errors, condition, and unique characteristics. And this is exactly why you should never ignore the coin sitting quietly in your wallet, your drawer, or even your old piggy bank, because you might already be holding a fortune without realizing it. Now let's travel back in time to understand the story behind the 1983 Lincoln cent, a coin that represents a major turning point in United States coinage history because 1983 was the year when the composition of the penny had just recently changed from mostly copper to a zinc-based core with a thin copper coating. A shift that happened due to rising copper prices which made producing traditional pennies too expensive, and this transition created a unique opportunity for rare minting errors and unusual varieties that today drive collectors crazy with excitement. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has been a symbol of American heritage since 1909, while the reverse still carried the classic wheat or memorial style depending on the version, and every detail on this coin tells a story of craftsmanship, history, and economic change. But what truly makes the 1983 Liberty 1 cent so valuable is not just its design or age, but the rare minting errors that occurred during production, especially the famous double die error, where the inscriptions appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process, and these coins are extremely rare and highly sought after in the collector's market. Some examples of these double die pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and in perfect mint state condition with strong doubling and no wear, the value can skyrocket toward that incredible figure of $779,311, making it one of the most desirable modern pennies ever discovered. Another key factor that affects the value of your 1983 penny is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor condition all the way up to mint state, and the closer your coin is to perfect, with no scratches, no discoloration, and full original luster, the higher its value will be. Collectors are always hunting for coins that look as if they just came out of the mint, and if you happen to find a 1983 penny in such pristine condition, you could be holding a jackpot. But wait, there's more, because not all 1983 pennies are the same. There are also differences between coins minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with the Denver mint coins marked by a small d below the year, and sometimes these variations combined with errors can create extremely rare and valuable pieces. The market for rare coins has been growing rapidly over the years, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all competing to find the next hidden gem, and the 1983 Liberty 1 cent has become a hot topic in auctions, online marketplaces, and coin shows around the world. Prices continue to rise as more people discover the potential value of these coins, and experts predict that the demand will only increase in the future, making now the perfect time to check your coins and possibly turn a simple penny into a life-changing asset. So how can you tell if your 1983 penny is valuable? First, carefully examine the coin under good lighting, or even use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the letters and numbers, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Also check the weight of the coin, because copper and zinc pennies have slightly different weights, and this can help you identify rare transitional errors. And if you believe you have found something special, it is always a good idea to have your coin authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service, as this can significantly increase its value and credibility in the market. Remember that even the smallest detail can make a huge difference in the world of coin collecting, and what looks like an ordinary penny to most people could actually be a rare masterpiece worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the magic of coin collecting, where history, art, and value come together in the palm of your hand. So don't underestimate the power of a single cent. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep exploring, because your next big discovery might already be waiting for you, right now, in your own collection. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories about coins that could see. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and overlooked coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1989D. A coin that millions of people have seen, touched, and spent without ever realizing its true potential, its hidden story, and in some rare cases, its astonishing market value reaching an eye-opening $779,372. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny transformed into a collector's dream and a life-changing discovery. So stay with me, because what you are about to learn could completely change the way you look at coins forever, as we uncover the fascinating history, the unique characteristics, the rare errors, and the explosive market demand behind this incredible piece of American currency that continues to shock collectors around the world with its rising value and mysterious appeal. Now let's begin our journey back in time to understand how this coin came into existence. The 1989 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver and is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series that first began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in the United States. By 1989 the coin had already undergone several changes in composition and design, but it still carried the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A design that had been in place since 1959, but what makes the 1989 D coin so special is not its common appearance but the rare variations. Minting anomalies, and exceptional high-grade specimens that have captured the attention of serious collectors and investors who are always searching for coins that combine rarity, history, and strong market demand. And this is where things start to get really exciting, because while most 1989 D pennies are worth only a few cents, there are certain versions of this coin that are incredibly rare and highly valuable, especially those in near-perfect condition or those with unique mint errors that set them apart from the millions of others produced that year. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that show sharp details, original red luster, and no signs of wear, and when such a coin is graded at the highest levels it can command extraordinary prices in auctions and private sales, pushing its value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is how we arrive at the staggering figure of $779,372, a price that represents not just the coin itself but the story, the rarity, and the intense competition among collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of numismatic history. But value is not just about condition, it is also about errors, and this is another area where the 1989 D Lincoln Cent shines, because error coins are among the most sought-after items in the collecting world. Imagine a coin with a double die effect where the design appears duplicated, or an off-center strike that creates a dramatic and unusual look, or even a coin struck on the wrong planchet. These rare mistakes during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure, and when such errors are discovered on a 1989 D penny they can dramatically increase its value, sometimes reaching levels that seem almost unbelievable for a 1-cent coin, and this is why collectors carefully examine every detail of their coins, using magnification tools and expert grading services to identify these hidden gems that might otherwise go unnoticed. Now, let's talk about the current market, because the value of coins is constantly changing based on demand, rarity, and collector interest, and right now the market for rare Lincoln Cents is stronger than ever, with collectors from around the world competing for the finest examples. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales have all contributed to the rising prices of rare coins, and the 1989 D Lincoln Cent has become a standout in this market due to its combination of availability and the possibility of finding a rare high-value specimen. Investors are increasingly viewing rare coins as an alternative asset, a way to diversify their portfolios while owning something tangible and historically significant, and this has further driven up demand and prices, making coins like the 1989 D penny even more attractive to both seasoned collectors and newcomers who are just starting their journey into the world of numismatics. But here is the most important part for you as a viewer and a potential treasure hunter. These coins are still out there. They could be sitting in your pocket, your piggy bank, or an old jar of coins at home, waiting to be discovered. The key is knowledge and awareness, knowing what to look for, understanding the signs of rarity, and taking the time to carefully inspect your coins could lead to an incredible find that changes everything. So the next time you come across a 1989 D Lincoln Cent, do not dismiss it as just another penny. Take a closer look. Examine its condition, check for unusual features, and consider having it professionally evaluated, because you never know, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and the possibility of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. Thank you for joining me today on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a fascinating coin that many people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for every single day, the Liberty 1 Cent 2001 D. A coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your drawer, your wallet, or even your old coin jar, yet it carries a story, a history, and in some cases a surprising value that can reach up to $779.312 in today's market, depending on condition, rarity, and unique features. And that is exactly why you should stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn could completely change how you look at pennies forever. Now let's begin with the history, because every valuable coin starts with a story, and the 2001 D Lincoln Cent, often called the Liberty 1 Cent, continues the legendary Lincoln design that first appeared in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in American history. This design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first time a real person appeared on a regular U.S. coin, making it revolutionary in American coinage. By 2001 this design had already become iconic. The front of the coin features the calm and strong profile of Lincoln with the word Liberty proudly displayed, along with the year 2001 and the mint mark D, which tells us this coin was produced at the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing billions of coins but occasionally releasing pieces that become extremely valuable due to errors, condition, or limited survival in high grades. Now let's talk about composition, because this is where things get interesting. The 2001 D penny is made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, a composition that began in 1982 to reduce production costs. But even with this common material, certain coins from this year stand out due to exceptional minting quality or rare mint errors, and collectors are always searching for those perfect examples with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services can command significant premiums, and when we talk about value, the average circulated 2001 D penny may only be worth a few cents, but the story changes dramatically when you find one in near perfect or mint state condition, especially those with full red color, brilliant shine, and no scratches. These coins can sell for hundreds of dollars and in rare auction cases approach the remarkable figure of $779.312, and that's not all, because certain error coins can push the value even higher. Imagine finding a penny with a double die error, off-center strike, or unusual planchet flaw. These mistakes happen during the minting process and make the coin unique. Collectors love uniqueness, and uniqueness drives price. The rarer the error, the higher the demand, and the higher the demand, the more money you can potentially make. Now let's explore the market, because understanding demand is key if you want to turn coins into profit. The coin collecting market has grown massively over the years, with online auctions, collector communities, and grading services making it easier than ever to buy and sell coins globally. The 2001 D Lincoln cent may not be rare in quantity, but it is rare in top condition, and that is where the real money lies. Collectors are always competing for the best examples, and when two serious buyers want the same coin, the price can skyrocket, especially for coins that are graded at the highest levels. And here is something many people don't realize. Coins from the early 2000s are now old enough to have been circulated heavily, which means finding pristine examples today is much harder than it was years ago, and this natural scarcity increases value over time, making the 2001 D penny a hidden opportunity for collectors and investors alike. Now let me give you a powerful tip that could change everything for you. Always check your pennies carefully. Look for shine, look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the lettering, check the edges. And if you find a coin that looks almost brand new, do not spend it, keep it safe, because you might be holding a small fortune without even realizing it. And if you think you have something special, consider getting it graded by a professional service. This can officially confirm its condition and dramatically increase its market value, turning a simple coin into a highly sought-after collectible. And as we wrap up this incredible journey into the world of the Liberty 1 cent 2001 D, remember this: every coin has a story, but only a few have the potential to change your financial future. This penny might look ordinary, but in the right condition it becomes extraordinary, a symbol of history, craftsmanship, and hidden value waiting to be discovered. So next time you receive change, take a closer look, because your next penny could be worth hundreds of dollars. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and fascinating coins that collectors are quietly hunting across America right now, the Liberty 1 cent 2002 D, a coin that many people have seen, touched, and even spent without realizing it could be worth an incredible amount of money. And yes, you heard that right, while most 2002 D pennies are only worth 1 cent in everyday circulation, there are rare and exceptional examples that have reached a staggering market value of up to $779,373, turning an ordinary pocket coin into a life-changing discovery. And in this video we are going to explore everything from its rich history, its design details, the secrets behind its rarity, and why collectors are willing to pay such unbelievable prices for the right piece. So stay with me, because this story will completely change the way you look at your loose change forever. Now let's go back in time to understand the origin of this coin. The Liberty 1 cent, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909 when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. By the year 2002, the coin was being produced at the Denver Mint, which is why you see the small D mint mark on the front of the coin, and millions upon millions of these coins were struck that year, flooding the market and making them extremely common. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal. Even within the same year and mint, tiny variations, minting errors, and condition differences can transform an ordinary penny into a rare collectible masterpiece. The 2002 D Lincoln cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2002 along with the D mint mark, while the reverse side displays the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008, and inside the memorial, if you look very closely, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated, a detail that continues to amaze collectors. But what truly drives the value of certain 2002 D pennies into the hundreds of thousands of dollars is not just the design, but the condition and rarity factors that come into play. Coins that are graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, are incredibly rare because maintaining a coin in near-perfect condition for decades is extremely difficult. Even the slightest scratch, discoloration, or wear can drastically reduce its value, so when a flawless or near-perfect example is discovered, collectors compete fiercely to own it, pushing prices to astonishing heights. And that's not all. Minting errors are another key factor that can skyrocket the value of a 2002 D penny. These errors can include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet, and such mistakes are highly sought after because they are unique and often one of a kind, making them extremely desirable in the numismatic world. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket that has a rare error that only a handful of coins in the world possess. That is the kind of discovery that can instantly turn a simple penny into a collector's dream worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the market and why the value of these coins continues to rise. Coin collecting has seen a massive surge in popularity in recent years, with more people than ever searching for rare coins in circulation, attending auctions, and investing in numismatic treasures. And as demand increases, so do prices, especially for coins that are both rare and in exceptional condition. The 2002 D Lincoln cent fits perfectly into this category when it meets those strict criteria, and that is why its market value has reached such incredible levels, reaching up to $779,373 for the finest known examples. Collectors are not just buying coins, they are buying history, rarity, and the thrill of owning something that very few people in the world can ever possess. So how can you tell if your 2002 D penny might be valuable? First, you need to carefully examine the coin under good lighting. Look for any unusual features such as doubling in the lettering or numbers. Check the alignment of the design, and inspect the edges for irregularities. Next, evaluate the condition of the coin. Coins that appear shiny, clean, and free of damage have a much higher chance of being valuable. But remember, cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value, so never attempt to polish or alter it. If you believe you have a rare or high-grade example, the best step is to have it professionally graded by a reputable service, which will authenticate the coin and assign it a grade that determines its value in the market. This is a crucial step because serious collectors only trust certified coins when making high-value purchases. And finally, let's not forget the excitement and mystery that comes with coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story leads to an unexpected fortune. The 2002 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how something so small and ordinary can hold extraordinary value. So the next time you receive change at a store, take a closer look because you might just be holding a hidden treasure in your hands. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most surprising coins, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 2017 P, a coin that at first glance may seem like just another penny in your pocket, but when you truly understand its background, its hidden rarity, and its explosive market potential, You will realize why collectors across the world are paying extraordinary amounts and why some examples are now being talked about with astonishing values reaching as high as $779,313. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny turning into a life-changing treasure, and it all begins with the story of this remarkable coin. The 2017 Lincoln cent marked a historic moment because for the first time ever in over 200 years of United States mint history, pennies struck in Philadelphia finally carried a mint mark, the small but powerful letter P. This was done to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the Philadelphia Mint, making the 2017 cent not just a coin but a milestone in numismatic history. Collectors immediately recognized its significance, and millions of people began checking their change, hoping to find one of these special pieces. But here is where things get even more exciting. While millions were minted, not all 2017 coins are equal. The real treasure lies in the condition, the rarity of certain high-grade specimens, and especially in coins with errors, unique strikes, or perfect mint state preservation, coins graded MS67, MS68, or even higher by professional grading services are extremely rare, and these are the coins that ignite bidding wars among collectors, pushing values higher and higher in auctions. And when we talk about errors, we are talking about double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting anomalies that can transform an ordinary cent into an extraordinary collectible worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on uniqueness and demand. The design of the 2017 Lincoln cent continues the legacy of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, replaced in 2010 by the Union Shield, symbolizing unity and strength, while the obverse still proudly features Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic figures in American history. But what makes this coin different is not just its design but the context in which it was released. It represents a bridge between history and modern collecting, a reminder that even in today's world, valuable treasures can still be found in everyday circulation. Now let's talk about the market, because this is where things truly get intense. The demand for rare modern coins has been rising dramatically, especially among new collectors entering the hobby, and the 2017 cent sits right at the center of this trend. Its historical significance combined with the challenge of finding top-grade specimens makes it highly desirable. Auction houses have reported increasing interest, and online marketplaces are seeing more listings, but only a tiny fraction of these coins reach the highest quality levels required to command extreme prices, which is why when a near-perfect or error coin appears, collectors are willing to go all in, driving the value to shocking heights. And this is how we arrive at figures like $779,313, not for an average coin, but for a truly exceptional specimen that stands out above all others. So the big question is, could you have one of these valuable coins in your possession right now? The answer is yes, it is absolutely possible. Millions of these coins were released into circulation, and many people still overlook them. So check your pockets, your jars, your old collections, because you might be holding a hidden gem without even realizing it. Look carefully for the mint mark, examine the condition, look for unusual features or errors, and if you think you have something special, consider getting it professionally graded, because that could be the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing fortune. The story of the 2017 Liberty 1 cent is a powerful reminder that treasure hunting is not just something from the past, it is happening right now, in real time, in the coins we use every day. And for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts, this coin represents opportunity, excitement, and the thrill of discovery. So stay tuned to Rare US Coins.